Hold on. Let's get to the basics. Do you have children?
No, I don't.
Okay. Would you drive a car like that?
No, definitely not.
That's a hazard, right?
It is a hazard.
Okay. When people bring cars back, right? Do you guys do a full inspection?
We do a visual inspection. We
Okay.
don't do a full thorough inspection. That's
Okay.
usually in a few months.
Okay. So this is a loaner that you guys loaned us, which is a hazard. This is
Correct.
legally, if you're not supposed to let a car go out like this,
I hear you.
because that's a safety hazard. If that tire blows out and somebody dies, guess who's getting sued? You guys,
That's
right?
what it is, yeah.
Because you guys didn't do a full thorough check, right? Another thing, this is another issue. You're a loaner again.
Yeah, I heard about this not closing.
That's another issue. Your representative, my wife hits up your representative and say, hey, the trunk's not closed. You know what your representative said? He said, well, you could take a string and tie it. And that's all we can do until we get another loaner. Once again, that's another what?
Another issue.
Safety-wise, right?
Hazard, yes. I agree with you.
Okay then. So now, when you look at you guys' reviews because everything's a pattern in life. Everything is patterns. When you look at your reviews, you have multiple people saying, I took my car here, I had to bring it back two or three times, they didn't fix the issue. So now this is why. It's the pattern of, I'm not saying it's you, but it's multiple people here not doing their job, obviously, right? So I want to talk to a manager because now, once again, we paid $1,500 the first time 5 months ago for an issue that should have been fixed because, once again, trust me, I know a lot of people in business and I spoke to people before I came over here just to make sure I was clarified.
Yeah.
When you spend $285 to do a diagnostic check, you're supposed to check what? When we spend that money, what are you guys checking for?
It depends on what it comes for. When you come in and making a service appointment, the diagnosis fee of $275 or $265 specifically is for your concern that you come in for, not a general inspection.
That's a fact. So if it's a suspension issue, you guys supposed to check everything around the suspension, right?
Correct. And that's suspension.
You didn't do that.
So I called you yesterday because I was the one that talked to you. Your service advisor was gone for the day, but I gathered the information. I hear what you're saying. Back in November when we did your AC compressor, the AC compressor itself is the component that failed on that time, a few months ago. Now you guys are coming in similar to the same issue, but your air spring modules have a leak. Now, if there was a leak back in November, we would have noticed because it wouldn't.
Right there.
Let me just explain myself and then you guys ask questions, okay? My concern and my thing is I need to provide you guys a proper information so that I'm on your side. Yes, I work for the company, but I have to advocate for my customers. So I asked the technician, well, how could this go out? Because they just got it done not so long ago, 5-6 months ago. According to him, because I thought more so, I'm not a tech person, I don't know about cars, but I thought maybe something caught onto it and that's how you get a leak. That's not the case. The air spring modules could fail with time, and according to him, it could be because of the age of the car. So if there was an air spring module leak back a few months ago, you would have been back within a week, 2 weeks. It is now at the fact.
But do you know the funny part about this? When she brought it home, what did I say? What did I say? When you first brought it home, I said they didn't fix the issue because you still hear a noise.
Yeah, we did still hear a noise.
Now my wife, unfortunately, how women be, she don't know, but I already knew he didn't fix it, but they didn't fix the issue. Then, now we.
There's usually a warning before destruction, so even though there was a leak, I feel like you guys could have tested it or knew.
Because it's in the same area. If it's I can see we spending $275 and then it's like this issue, but if it's in the suspension area, because trust me, I do my research, I spoke to people. These are all the areas that they were supposed to check.
Correct, which we did.
No, you didn't. And obviously you didn't because that noise, because my wife came a week ago and I said, bring it in there because it's something, the noise is getting louder. Before the light came on, you know what they said? We don't have no cars, nothing. We might be able to take it in a week and a half. It wasn't only till a light came on, y'all said, okay, we can take it immediately. So we came a week before.
Yeah.
And y'all was like, it's too, we can't. So that's my whole thing with, and when you look at your service on Yelp and all your reviews, Everybody's saying the same thing.
And I've seen it. Like I'm a supervisor, but I'm on your side as well because I've had my own issues with my car, so I get it. I hate to be the one to be like, oh, my technicians, that's on them. I have to provide the feedback, and my manager.
It's a pattern, though. It's a pattern. Look, even you guys are not even fixing your own cars. That's the pattern. This is a loaner. We got this 3, 4, 5 days ago. This is not working. The first time we got a loaner, I came home. I'm like, wait, the seat is ripped. She like, yeah, they said we do. I said, hold on, let me check. Like I did everything. I checked. I said, hold on, how is the thread damn near the tire's about to pop? She said, oh wow. Now look, you're a woman, right? Imagine I give you a car from Tesla. You're a woman. You're never gonna check that. It's only because she has a man who's gonna say, hold on, I want my family, I have a daughter too, out here safe. So I would've did that for you. I would've did that for any woman. You know what I'm saying? So my whole first time, because it had thread. So for that whole week and a half, we couldn't even really drive the car. So what y'all not understanding too is y'all we didn't, look, the first time, did we give any pushback? Any of this?
I don't know the whole history, but I have
even with that issue, the fact that we thought it was fixed, I said, pay the money, we're done. We're done with that. It's only now that I see a pattern that I have a problem. Because now I know that if you guys are not fixing your cars, I know you halfway did our car. And then when I look at the reviews, everybody's saying the same thing. So that's why I'm hot, because I already knew when she brought the car. I said, babe, you don't hear that noise still? Yeah, but they said they fixed it, whoop-de-whoop. I'm like, nah, we should take it back. We can't keep taking off work, whoop-de-whoop. You come in here, I'm doing it. I'm like, all right, bet. Well, it is what it is. But then I'm like, damn, the loaners is messed up. I'm like, but now that I'm here and I'm like, damn, we gave them $1,500 and we back around the same issue? Nah, something gotta get.
A few moments later.
Yeah, I know him. How you doing?
What's going on?
Yeah.
Aaron, right? How you doing? Melissa was kind of giving me the rundown of what's going on with the vehicle. Now, one, I want to apologize for the loaner. Should have never been provided to you in this manner.
Did she tell you both incidents?
She looped me with the tires and then the trunk not close.
Yeah, I just want you to see, because
all on this visit for you.
No, the last one.
The last one.
When we was getting it fixed.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so
the first service.
But I'm just saying, in general, that's the kind of cars that are going out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And this is why we've been pushing, cycling these out, and I'm pushing with these guys to make sure we're doing inspections before these provided out. And then this one, the trunk hasn't been opened.
Nah,
so we went grocery shopping.
It's not that it's been open, it don't close. It don't latch. So then the guy told her, just put a string until in between the time.
Told her, just put a string until in between the time
of you guys finding the loaner. He said, well, what you could do is just tie a string and keep it down.
Here at the service center,
all calls are monitored, recorded. So I think you guys would need to go listen to that, because that's just not professional, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I would just advise to bring it in. And then where we're at with the service. Melissa was giving me a rundown with it. Ideally, I never want to come to customers and tell you like, hey, like this is going to be a big bulk of what has to be done. And from my experience, how our procedures go with it, especially when we're doing it in person. If we don't get alerts for additional things, or we can see that now these airspring modules are failing, instead of me coming to you and telling you guys, hey, you're going to just replace all of this, I'm going to tell you what's faulty at that time.
Yeah, but that's not how suspension works. Like, for example, if you were to go right here to Midas or get an oil change, they're going to go through everything and say, hey, your oil filter is dirty, this and that. Because if you're doing a free inspection, then you're valid. But when you spend money, you're supposed to do a full inspection of that whole area for this reason. Because when we got it home, when we quote unquote paid the $1,500, it was still making a noise. So obviously something wasn't fully done, right?